Good old Cookie, what a true cowboy. I heard that. Why, I didn't even know you was listening. You resting those shaft hands? Yep, but I don't know that I agree with your kind words. What you talking about, Cookie? True cowboy? You are a true cowboy in my book. That's just it. Only to you am I a true cowboy. That's probably because you're just about my only friend out here on the range. All them other fellers don't treat me that way. They say I'm just a cook, not a real cowboy. Now hold on there, partner. I'll guarantee you something right now. You're just as much of a cowboy as any of those guys is. Yeah? How do you get that? Right here in my little book of cowboy guidelines. Yeah, right. You ain't gonna find nothing about a cook being a cowboy in that thar book. No. I believe you're wrong there, friend. I've read this thing right through every year, and I know that I remember reading it somewhere in here. Well, don't waste your time looking. My mind's made up based on the opinions of them other fellers. They said a real cowboy herds cattle. I don't herd no cattle. I just cook 'em. Now, Cookie, you can't base real truth on what other people say. You gotta base truth on the real guidelines. And those guidelines are here in my trusty Cowboy Handbook. Cowboy Handbook? But that there book was written by men. So doesn't that mean that it's their opinion? Good point. But these guys were directed by the one true cowboy that they all agreed on. And them boys wrote it all together. They agreed on every point, and that's how we got to where we are today. Okay, fine. Let's see what it says. It probably won't change my opinion none, but have a go at it. Alright, it's gotta be here in this section, what a cowboy is, which comes before this section, what a cowboy ain't. Well, how many sections are there? Just those two. Oh, look, there it is. A cowboy is anyone who sleeps out in the open air, cooks his food over an open fire, and can ride a horse. Can't you do all those things, Cookie? Well, sure. So see, you are a cowboy after all. But that would make you, well, not a cowboy. What do you mean I ain't no cowboy? I ride a horse, don't I? Well, yeah. Well, I sleep out in the open air, don't I? Well, yeah. It doesn't say anything about Mr. Snuggles, does it? Who? Mr. Snuggles, my stuff. Oh, never mind. So you see, I am a cowboy. But Tex, what about cooking your own food? I do that for you. Well, you got a point. Let's see what else it says. Oh yeah, I forgot to read this part. In the presence of a cook, the cowboy doesn't have to cook his own meals. Well, that's good. Does it say anything else? As a matter of fact, it does. It says, if there's a cook along for the roundup or trip at any time, he is automatically considered a cowboy, no questions asked. Well, that's just dandy. I'm glad to know that truth. From now on, I'm considering myself a cowboy, no matter what anyone else says, because I know the truth. Good for you. Now go back to sleep. I'll see you in the morning.